Hey Camp family, it's Chopper. Just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that we are launching a new camp registration system. I know, again, 2 years in a row. We've decided to make the move to a system called CampBrain, which does a much better job in terms of keeping historic information and specifically medical information that our health team had asked for. So this is the primary landing page when you come to the registration page. As you can see, it has our big logo on it, and there's a few notes here. For those of you who registered your campers in 2022, we actually imported all of your emails and your children's name, birthday, and a few other bits of information into the system. So there's a very good chance that you will just need to use the email address that you got your message from me at, and you can do then a reset password. I'm going to be starting from scratch, so I am not in the system, and I will be putting my name in as Chopper, and my last name, let's call it Biker, since I do ride a Harley. My email address is going to be chopper.cr4ts@gmail.com, and we have to create a password. Password needs to be 10 characters in length, and just for this, I'm going to make a nice simple one, and I will create my account. It's going to ask for a little security. Just click on pictures that in this example have stairs in them. It's just trying to make sure that it is not a bot that is creating an account here. I guess I missed some steps. Verify. And voila, I have created my account in CampBrain. So there is very little information here. If I click on the Manage People and Household, I will just see my name, and I don't have any other parent or children in this account. And I don't have much for household details. I can certainly enter those. And this is going to be the same for all of the campers that I'm going to register. If you are in a situation where you're a family that has 2 residents, you have a place to put a second name and address. So we have both households on in the system. But I'm just going to go back to my family, and then I'm going to go back to the main home page. So if you are starting the registration for a camper and no information is in the system, we're going to want to just click on Start an Application. This is just going to tell me that there are a number of steps coming up, and we're going to add information about the household and information about our campers, and then we're going to choose the appropriate camps and complete our registration and make the order. Again, there's a few links in here that we're going to link to the video that I'm creating to make this nice and simple. So I'm going to hit continue. And as you can see, my name is here. I am the parent, and I could add another parent at this time, but I'm just going to add a camper. So in this case, I'm going to add Maggie and put her last name in, which is also Biker. And her birthday is a January 15th, and she is going to be, I'm going to be, for this purposes, her birthday is going to be in 2012, so she will be 11 years old, actually just turned 11 years old, and she'll qualify for our sleepaway camps. So I'm going to hit continue. And this is an important question. We are asking you to tell us whether your camper is a patient camper or a sibling camper. And our definition is a patient camper is any camper who has been diagnosed with cancer in the past, whether they are on treatment or off treatment or in remission. And the sibling would be the brothers or sisters, stepbrothers and sisters of those campers who are patients. And this helps, again, to identify which camps are appropriate for this camper. So in this case, Maggie is a patient. She did have a tumor, so we're going to hit continue. And I now am presented with the camp that is appropriate for Maggie, and that is going to be our resident oncology camp. If I select show details, I will see the specifics about applying or qualifying for camp. And she is in the right age range, and she is a cancer survivor. So I'm going to add this to my cart. As you can see, there is no cost, but I do have Maggie signed up for resident oncology camp, and I do need to continue the registration. The opportunity to actually add another camper exists in several places along the way. and I'm going to take the moment to add a second camper. So I have another child, and her name is Skylar, and let's get her last name on there as well. She's Biker, and she was born on November 15th, and she was born in 2018, which will make her only 5 years old. And actually, let's go 17, and we'll hit continue. And she is actually the sibling of Maggie, who is our patient camper. Now, when I hit continue, you'll see that I have a tab for Maggie, and she is available to sign up for resident oncology camp, sleepaway camp. And Skylar, because of her age and the fact that she's a sibling, she has the ability to go to day camp. So I'm going to scroll on down, confirm that she does fit the requirement for day camp, and I'm going to add this to the cart. Now, if there is for some reason that you feel that the wrong camp is being displayed here, please reach out to us. We can make some exceptions if there's a camper that is older than 8 years old who we do want to have go to our day camp. There is a way for us to make that registration happen. Or if you just don't think the right camp is listed, please let us know, and we'll certainly help you out here. So I now have Maggie assigned to resident oncology camp, and I've got Skylar associated with day camp. And I'm going to hit continue. And now you're going to see that I've got a number of forms that the system is asking me to fill out. And there are several that are required in order to complete the actual registration. And those are the ones that have the asterisks next to them. So as you can see, there is one household form. So that's information about me, my family, my household. And then there are going to be forms specifically for Maggie because she's going to resident oncology camp. And there are forms that are for Skylar because she's going to day camp. As you can see, in both cases, the medical form is not required to complete the registration. The reason for that is that the medical form is a very long form. We ask a lot of very specific details, and we want to be able to allow you to complete the registration and then come back in and complete the medical form. The rest of these forms are rather short, so we would like you to complete those as part of the registration process. So as you can see, I cannot press continue because I have these 5 forms that need to be completed. So we'll go through those real quick. So Maggie, who's going to our sleepaway camp, we have a basic camper information form. So she is a youth small shirt. She has never been to camp before. If I would have said yes, there's additional questions that pop up that ask how many years has she been coming to camp and in which camps she went to, but let's just say no. And we do ask a couple different times about a camper's gender or sex. And in this case, we're specifically looking for which cabin your camper would be most comfortable in our sleepaway camps in terms of sharing a cabin. So if they are comfortable sleeping in the boys or the teen boys cabin, depending on their age, because of their biological sex or their gender, we are asking, please just identify which cabin your camper would be most comfortable in. And if you'd like to have a conversation about this, please just select other, and we'll make sure that the camp director reaches out and we will discuss what those options are. We do capture race and ethnicity. It's part of just sort of our data collection. You can choose not to disclose this, but it's important for us in some respects when we are searching for potential grants that we are applying for that can help fund our camps. So I'm going to just choose other, since Maggie is actually a chocolate lab for my scenario. I'm going to ask a little bit about confirming, is this a patient or sibling? We are signing her up for ROC. She is a patient. The reason I'm asking this question again is because it does control some of the questions that are being asked here. Maggie was diagnosed in October of 22, and it was a mast cell tumor. And she was not treated at Rady's because she is a dog, but she was treated at Best Friends Veterinary Hospital. I cannot type, so I'm going to spell check this for me. veterinary hospital, and she is not in active treatment. If this was for our sibling camp and we changed this from patient to sibling, there's a few other questions that we would ask. So I'm going to complete that form. And now you can see that it is listed as completed. I'm going to do the same thing for the transportation form. Because we are talking about resident oncology camp, which is a sleepaway camp, we are providing free busing, and we do want to confirm that you're going to be sending your child up to the campground on the bus. So transportation to the camp from San Diego, my child will be riding the bus, yes. On the way home, are they going to ride the bus? And I'm going to actually say no, because Maggie has an appointment, and I need to pick her up on Thursday. I'll pick her up Thursday. This indicates to our camp director that we need to have a communication with the family to coordinate pickup or drop off. So that form is now completed. And as you might notice when I scroll down here to Skylar, there is no transportation form. And that's because Skylar signed up for day camp and there is no busing. We actually have our parents drop our kiddos up off in the morning and pick them up at the end of the day. And then in both cases, there is a waivers and agreements section. So we'll want you to read through this. But these are the typical waivers that we ask for at the beginning of each camp season, essentially for liability and our ability to take photos of your kiddos for our website. So I am going to read and sign each of these agreements. This is the behavior agreement. Place the date. This is a liability agreement. Place my date and a release form saying if your camper is causing problems that we have the right to release your camper to you. So I'm going to complete these forms. And now you can see that Maggie's required forms are completed. And I'm going to do the same thing for Skylar. I'll just start with the permissions quick. BJB. Sign it. Again, I'm just reading and signing these agreements. I would expect that you'll take a little more time and read those just so you're familiar and comfortable with them. And then now let's complete Skylar's information. She is a little thicker than Maggie, so we'll call her a youth medium. She has been to camp before. She went 1 year and she went to day camp. If somebody had gone to day camp and then off to sibling camp or to resident oncology camp or attended, please just check all that apply. She would also like to be in the girls group, and she is an other since she's also a chocolate lab. And in this case, I am going to select that she is the sibling. And as you can see, there's a number of other questions that pop up, and it's asking who is the sibling that was diagnosed. So that's Maggie. And her diagnosis, which we had answered earlier, was October of 22, and it was a mast cell tumor at best friends, and she is battling or in remission, and she is not on active treatment. So I'm going to complete this form. So now we can see that all of the required forms are completed, but we still need to come back and finish this medical form. But I now have the ability, actually I forgot to complete the household form, so let's jump into that quick. And this is the form that's basically information about my family, my home, and address information. So my phone number, I'm just going to put 858-555-1212, and that is a cell phone. So I'm going to select mobile cell. Got my name and email proper. Maggie is a female, as is Skylar. And our address is 1125522 Smith Road. We live in San Diego, California, 92121, and we're in the United States. US. There we go, United States. And there is no secondary household information. We do ask that you include one emergency contact. So I am going to put Papa Jim, who is my father. And if there is an emergency and I'm unavailable, I would like our camp director to reach out to him. And we do ask whether or not we are authorized to send you a text message on your cell phone, just so we are compliant in terms of messaging. And there are things that we like to send by text. Just it's much easier to get a quick response that way. So I'm going to say yes to authorizing text and completing this form. So we're now at the 15-minute mark. We have created my household. We have created Maggie. We created Skylar. We selected a camp for each. We completed the required minimum forms, and we're now going to hit continue. At this point, there's a summary of what we are signing up for, and as you can see, there is no charge. Again, Oncology and Kids pays for these camps for your family and your children, all through donations and fundraisers. So we would love for you to be involved in helping us raise funds. But as you can see, there's no cost. We do see that there is two forms that are not yet started, but that's okay. We'll come back to them. And I'm now going to submit my application for both Skylar and Maggie. And as you can see, it's saying, thank you for submitting your application. I will get an email which thanks me for this, and we'll have a little bit more information about the upcoming camp season. This will take a second, but you can see right here the applications are being processed by the system. But if we look at this page, there's a couple sections. One is the summary of which of my campers are signed up for which camps. And then on the right-hand side, I will see that what my status is in terms of required forms. And I still need to go in and finish the medical form, which there is a link here. Just by hovering over that form, I can start updating that. And I'm going to hit refresh on this screen. And you now see that this has changed to registered. So the CampBrain system was doing a little work in the background, and it now has me fully registered in terms of my spot at the camp. But I do have to finish completing those medical forms. And now there are some place for uploading of documents. So this is the same for all campers for all camps, but they don't always apply. So in this case, Maggie is my patient camper, and she is attending my resident oncology camp. So she is a camper who is attending resident oncology camp, and she is a patient camper. So I need to have this physician's release form completed. By clicking on this link, I can get to the form that needs to be downloaded, printed, and then signed by your primary physician. This is the place we will upload that. As you can see, for Skylar, the same question comes up, but she is a sibling camper who is attending day camp, so this does not apply, but there's no way for me to hide this. So please very carefully read this, where they apply, where they don't apply. And so the physician's release form is needed for those who are patient campers. There's also a place where you can upload a copy of your child's vaccination card. We do have a section in the medical form where we ask specifically about different immunizations. So you'll have to answer them there, but if you'd like, you can also upload a copy of the vaccination card. Again, that is not required for either patients or siblings, but we do give you a place where you can upload those vaccination cards. So at this point, Maggie and Skylar have their place reserved in camp for the two camps. But until we go in and complete these medical forms, their registration has not been fully completed. So just to show you what it looks like, if I click on the medical form for Maggie, you'll see that it's going to ask information about her height and her weight. She is actually at 63 pounds right now, and I don't remember when the last exam date is. And there are 7 pages of questions. So I'm not going to step through all them here, but as you can see, we sort of break these into information about allergies, and then there'll be sections about vaccinations. So if I say, does your child have any allergies? Yes. Choose the type of allergy it might be. Is it food? Please tell us what he or she's allergic to and what it is. If they require an EpiPen, we please give us a description. And there's, again, multiple pages that we need filled out for the medical form. So for those families who have started the registration in the old registration system, any information that you gave us, we have transferred to this new system, And it's just a matter of going through these forms and completing any missing information and then submitting them once you've reviewed them. So if there's any questions, certainly feel free to refer back to this video or reach out to us on our camp line or reach out by email. We'd love to help you get your kiddos registered. But this is a new and exciting registration form. It's going to be great for our medical team while we're on camp, and even better next year when you register your campers. Most of this information will already be there from your registration this summer and making it much easier next summer. So again, thank you for your time, and please register your kiddos and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.